My big message I feel like I go on about all the time is plastic in lipstick.
Which is mental.
Shall we do the intro?
Yeah, let's.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Green Queens.
The perfect podcast for imperfect environmentalists.
I'm Imogen Bhogal.
And I'm Abbie Dewhurst.
And we're joined by the wonderful MJ. Hi.
Hello. Do you want to start by, we sort of normally try and do this is who this guest is, but I think no better person to intro themselves than themselves. So
That's the pressure.
MJ, welcome to Green Queens. Who are you? What do you do? And why are you here?
So I am a makeup artist, have been for 20 years now.
What?
I know that really shows my age.
Well, you look about 18. So
I know, it's
that's
something
Must be pretty good at makeup then.
yeah.
I have all the tricks. For 20 years, and over the years I have transferred my direction towards cruelty-free, vegan and sustainability. So I talk online a lot about more eco-friendly alternatives and swaps, more kind of cleaner as such products. And I'm a spokeswoman for Cruelty-Free, so a voice for the animals.
Mm-hmm.
And also last year I became an ambassador for Soil Association. Which
My goodness.
Yeah.
And what is it that got you into all of this in the first place?
Yeah, I was 18 when I became a makeup artist, and I think, I just started off my first 10 years or so just using whatever products I thought were good. And over the years, saw a lot of people that had very sensitive skin and were allergic to certain things. So I started looking into ingredients a bit more of what could be making that happen. So that's when I started being interested in ingredients. And then I became plant-based, I think it was 9 years ago. Started going to a lot of kind of vegan events. So I met Henry, who's from Bosch TV, moved in with them. So we lived in the Bosch house with the boys. And we went to a lot of events where they spoke about the planet and the ins and outs of what's more sustainable, what's not, which really got me into understanding, oh my God, the cosmetics industry is so bad for the planet. And there's just I can't remember the stats actually, but yeah, most products end up in landfill. There's not many, even though they say recyclable. A lot of them just end up in landfill, which is really shocking and it needs to change.
Isn't it crazy as well that it was an industry that you were in, and yet you were obviously just so oblivious? Like, we all just kind of take for granted. You go to Boots, you go to a cosmetic retailer and you see all these gorgeous packages and you see, gorgeous actresses and, Instagrammers, and they are promoting these.
Aspirational.
It is. And it's like kind of girl therapy, isn't it? Putting some makeup on and feeling great about yourself. And it's so frustrating that it's not clear and it's not easy for us to decipher and make good decisions. Yeah. So how has that journey been from you going, oh, okay, this is actually really bad, to now? Do you think a lot's changed in the industry in that time, or are you still really frustrated with things?
It's getting better. There's a lot of brands now popping up which are amazing. A lot of them tend to be like Australian. So obviously you've got to think about the air miles. There are some British brands that I really like and European, but there definitely needs to be more. Watch this space, maybe in the next few years. But I think one interesting thing is I've seen a lot more packaging change. So like now there's a few brands that make things out of cardboard and paper, but then there's the trouble there with, like, if you put it in your makeup bag, we need to think about ourselves too, and what are women actually going to use. If you chuck a cardboard blusher in your makeup bag, it probably is going to get ruined quite quickly. So there's the whole thing as well of one, packaging being really sturdy. Otherwise, if it's going to break, it's going to be unsustainable because we're going to have to buy another product in a few weeks. As well as preservatives. So now a lot of clean beauty brands use better preservatives, which are not parabens. So the products will last a longer time. Whereas when products are really, really natural, they often can go out of date quicker.
Yeah, we said this with the Lush people, didn't we? We went to the Lush factory and had this amazing tour, and they all have expiry dates or dates that they used. And I think a bit like food, really, you know, the fresher, better stuff is going to go out of date, and the stuff that is full of chemicals and whatever else is going to last longer. So it's the same, I guess, isn't it? It's the same ethos, but for some reason, that hasn't really translated across to the makeup industry. And just for anybody that doesn't know then, what is the kind of no-no when it comes to parabens? Or are there any key ingredients that you would have asked people to avoid using?
The thing is, it's not like very clean cut. Yeah. It's not black and white. So I think it's more about people doing their own research and finding out what matters to them. For me, phthalates are the big one.
Because
so anything that has parfum or fragrance in the ingredients, it basically is like a blanket term for hiding hundreds of, if not thousands of chemicals, and many of which are believed to be phthalates. And the way phthalates work is they keep scents around for a long time. So if, for example, you've had a perfume on and you put it on in the morning, that night you're still smelling really strong, probably has got some phthalates in, because it kind of digs into your skin and makes the scent last a really long time.
Oh, when you phrase it that, you're like, oh, now it doesn't sound so nice.
Yeah, they're linked with hormone disruption, basically. They are not I can never say this word. They are not bioaccumulative. I'll say that again. Is that right?
Bioaccumulative. Yeah.
They're not bioaccumulative, but we're exposed to them every day. Right. So if you think about shower gel, your shampoo, body lotion, even they put it in lipstick, home fragrance, kids products, it's in Play-Doh. It's in those water bottles that have flavourings in them. It's in them. So they're literally sucking them up. So we are just being doused in phthalates all day, every day. And that's heavily linked with hormone disruption.
Oh my goodness. And so are there ways to smell nice without them?
Yeah. So now there's lots more perfumes that are parfum or fragrance free. So they're more like essential oils. Or I don't know exactly how, but brands can apparently have parfum or fragrance in knowing it hasn't got phthalates in. I'm still not 100% sure. That's what the brands are saying, but how do we know for sure? I don't know.
I think that's the biggest minefield sometimes when it comes to looking for brands, and you try and do your due diligence and your research, but again, you're taking their word for it. There's often no regulation and in certain instances, when it comes to recycling and things, you're looking for certain symbols. And I think you see the cruelty-free symbol on a lot of products. Do you take that for absolute certainty and Bible? Are there things around that you know of? Yeah.
For if a product says natural on or organic, they actually only have to have 1 or 2% of an organic or natural product.
Oh my gosh. Okay. It's a very, very small percent.
That's insane.
Especially if you think about that in terms of, let's say it's something that you were going to consume.
Yeah, that's like me saying I'm a golfer because I've picked up a golf club once in my life.
There's no regulation on it at all. There are even some, so there's like a children's bubble bath brand that literally says organic. I'm not going to say the word, but I won't throw them under the bus. But yeah, it literally says organic, big letters on the front. I don't know what percentage is organic, but it's very small, and they have petrochemicals in, fragrance, parfum, like undisclosed chemicals, but they can legally do that. So if a product is Cosmos or Soil Association approved, then so you can have Cosmos natural, and I think that's what percentage is that? I think it might be 90-something%.
Okay.
So you're a lot more trusting, or Soil Association organic, which obviously is better.
Okay, so they're the key absolute gold standards that we're looking for with things.
Yes.
Okay.
And so with Cosmos and with the Soil Association one, what's the seal of approval? What's it saying about that product, that it's a certain percentage organic and not got chemicals in it?
Yeah. Although the chemical thing, so water's chemical.
Yeah.
So people always say that's actually one of my big red flags if a product says no chemicals, because I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about.
We're all chemicals.
Yeah, we are going. Yeah, exactly. It's so Soil Association, if it's approved by Soil Association, it means the gold standard of so a certain percent natural ingredients or organic ingredients, and they're very thorough with the process of making sure everything is fair trade, and also means that the ingredients are pure, they've not been contaminated with anything.
So obviously when we're talking about clean beauty, we're kind of talking about the synthetic chemicals that may exist in them, but also I suppose the packaging and things that can't be recycled and going to landfill.
Yeah.
And so how do we need to think about those things together?
So the word synthetic's interesting that you use, because I think a lot of people think that if an ingredient is synthetic, it's bad. And if it's natural, it's good.
Yeah.
That's really not the case, because often an ingredient such as citric acid, for example, that's actually really that's really unsustainable to harvest naturally.
Okay.
So synthetic's actually better.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And this is where I think there's a lot of like, we have this conversation around food miles sometimes. You know, food miles are always deemed as very bad, but actually in some instances, they are the better alternative, because, for example, growing blueberries in this country cannot be done naturally, and well, it has to be done under, you know, greenhouses that have got energy pumped into them. So actually, you're better off getting a blueberry from, you know, somewhere in
Spain,
yeah, exactly, that's
yeah.
flown in. And this is where I think it can become such a minefield, and it can be really overwhelming for people that are just trying to do good, to make the good decision, which is where I think the stuff that you make on Instagram and social media, which is so succinct and so easy to understand, and somebody can literally watch it and be like, okay, this product is good, and I vet you, and I know that what you have vetted is a good thing. When did you start realizing that communicating what you know is it really important through social media?
I think over the last few years, when I've probably become a little bit obsessed with it and almost kind of angry at the industry for not doing better. But I think there is a lot of pressure as well online. There's kind of two opposing opposites of people that do not care at all, and they're just like hauls of makeup, and it's all really cheap, very throwaway. And then there's the other extreme where it's like, don't use anything that could possibly impact the planet. And and there's kind of a gap in between of people feeling very overwhelmed. And, you know, we're all like girls in our 30s. We want to feel nice. We want to look good. And that affects our mental health. So what little things can we do that will still make us feel great? And maybe, you know, sometimes they're slightly more expensive, and that's something we'll get on to too. But yeah, better for the planet, like little things that we can do. So I think I'm really trying not to come across judgy or like scaring people.
Yeah.
I'm on a journey with that too. Sometimes days I'm like, oh, maybe that was a bit too full on, and I should pull it back a bit and make it more fun. Yeah.
We were having this conversation even before we started recording. It's always that balance of like, we have to be empathetic that everyone is on their own personal journeys. Like, we are in the space, and so we naturally probably have a high level of understanding, or at least information about it. But then you can't judge when somebody else who does a completely different job and isn't in their sphere of what they do every day. You have to be kind of that, but also you need to hammer home some kind of sense of urgency and taking it seriously. And striking that balance is tricky.
You're doing a really good job of it, both of you.
Well, I think you are, because I think, you know, this kind of influencer culture that we're in now, it's the easy swipe up, click this link, buy this now. It's so easy, and that people get suckered in because, you know, they see somebody doing a makeup tutorial and their makeup looks beautiful, nicely lit in their gorgeous, you know, studio with their high quality camera. And they want to buy it. And I don't think that there's enough people in that space doing it with the products that are doing good and that aren't harmful. And so I think that's where I find I feel so good when I see somebody, and your content is amazing. You are so wonderful at makeup, obviously. But I look at your page and think, I really want to look like this. I want my skin to look like this. I want my makeup to look like this. So I'm going to buy the products. And so, you know, I think this is where hopefully people like yourself are going to, you know, keep coming up, and there'll be more of you as the industry grows and the understanding grows, where hopefully then more and more people will be influenced by the influencers to just buy better products. And it doesn't need to be black and white. It's like there's a space for us all.
Do you know, so I'm going to embarrass Abbie now. So Abbie on social media has more followers than I do. You know, it's an objective fact. And actually I find that, you know, with my work that I do fully charged, so lots of brands not that interested in working with me because they're like, well, your audience is mainly male. Like, quite frankly, if we, you know, work with you on some sustainable clothing brand, it's no interest to your audience. But whenever you do anything, I am influenced every single time. So I'm like, even if you have one proof point of someone who's changed their behaviour, it's always me. And like, to the extent where, and obviously you're going to be like, God, you're a stalker and a weirdo. You went on this beautiful holiday over the summer to this incredibly sustainable, beautiful place in Cornwall.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Where am I going in November? The same place. And I rang up the lady and I was like, I'd just like you to know that I'm booking this on the back of a recommendation from Abbie Dewhurst, who was here earlier this summer. So, yeah, you're influencing me. It does
also
work.
Information overload. There's so much information. And even the other day I looked and I think I'm following over 3,000 people and I was like, I can't like deal with that much information. I need to have a good old cleanse and unfollow and stuff. So I do think nowadays people are getting more to the point where, yes, they might follow 1,000 people, but there's probably only 10 that they really trust, that they really rate, that they see regularly. And it's that like real community that you buy into. And then, you know, brands and companies that you endorse, or even companies that you have yourself, hopefully people will start to clock onto. So you have branched out and done loads of different things in your amazing 20-year career. Social media, you still are a professional makeup artist where you have clients. What are your clients' views? Are they all like-minded? Are they very impartial? Do you think you've kind of spun them around to your way of thinking?
And I wanted to, because I have a slight little, I guess, sub-bullet point to this question as well. Like, are they coming to you because you're fabulous and they love your style? Or are they like, I specifically wanted someone who uses cruelty-free products and is keen on the sustainability side?
Well, it's really interesting you follow that question with like after the social media part, because I feel like it's always a struggle to get people to care about the sustainability part. Because like, you know, all the people on Instagram that are showing how great they can look, I think that's what people care about first. And it's like navigating that. So honestly, like not like most people actually book me because they like my style and we get on, because like that's kind of 80% of working with someone. But yeah, what I've learned over the years is, rather than scaremongering people saying like, why are you buying that brand? They test on animals and they're full of this, they're full of microplastics. Rather than that, just show them how amazing something else can be, and then mention it afterwards. Oh, by the way, it's also great for the planet and they don't test on animals. That's the way I have to lead, which is quite sad that they don't care as much as, you know, when we have a little sustainable chat, we're like frothing at the mouth. But not many people care so much about that, which is a shame. But I think that's it. Like, find out what people care about the most and then start there.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. And I think that is so applicable to any aspect of sustainability, because ultimately we're motivated by convenience, cost often, and not compromising. And in this case, like, you don't want to compromise how you look or think, well, oh, I'm going to look terrible because, you know, I wanted a product that was a little bit more sustainable. So I think it is our human nature to be led by the things that you know, we care
I think
about.
a really good example of something that has gone a bit more mainstream is natural deodorants. I think there was this stigma for a while that, oh, you just stink of BO and have really like long hairy armpits that you could plait if you cared about the environment and stuff. And now it's
really hairy armpits. Do you not?
Probably. I mean, we are in autumn, winter after all.
Yeah, exactly. And I like
hibernation. Well, although you're going.
I'm going on a holiday. I know. Don't remind me. I need to do some serious.
Top the pit.
I'm gonna have to have one of those everything showers later. But I do think
put it on Instagram. That's always good content.
You're joking. Not for some of my weather presenter male followers. I think I was going to say Wild Deodorants, obviously a brand drop there. That was that's an interesting one because they've been acquired by Unilever, which you know, association wise is perhaps not so good. But brands like Get Fussy, for example, gorgeous. Actually, I would say much better product if you've ever used it than Wild Deodorants anyway. And people are using them now and being like, oh,
it worked.
And I actually probably sweat less. And who knew that, you know, actually that little bit of my armpit that used to get a bit sore every now and again now doesn't. And so sometimes it has to be, unfortunately, this more universal approach to something, and you've just got to celebrate that as a win and maybe take that as, oh, well, that worked for you, so have you thought about maybe using a shampoo bar or something else that might be of a similar nature?
That's a really good point, like little baby steps, and then you slowly trust it a bit more. Have you tried Fitbit?
No.
They're good.
Are they?
Is it a similar kind of concept?
Yeah, they come in a glass jar.
Ooh,
I'm pretty sure they're British made. I feel like this might be a bit unfair, but I feel like men tend to sweat more, do they?
Not in my house.
Oh my gosh. So I'm just going to tell you something about this because I've recently done I've mentioned
Yoga
this
teacher
every
training.
podcast. I like heard myself. I'm so boring. Yoga teacher training.
You're
Oh
a
my
yoga
gosh.
teacher. You mentioned it.
Before. But our amazing lady who taught the whole course, she's called Mary Laura, and she's like, I want to be here when I'm in my 50s. But she's like, just a word of warning. When it comes to the end of the class, you just look on the floor and there is always so much sweat surrounding the men. And she was like, and you don't make them feel embarrassed about it. We just maybe give them a few more cloths to wipe that area. So I think if we could take that as our data point.
Okay. So I feel like deodorant should be tested on men, basically. It's the ultimate test. So Ian from Bosch, recently came to me. Like, I would get a lot of people messaging saying, I'm emergency, like I need a product quickly. So anyway, he tried Fitbit. I think I gave him a few to try. Anyway, I had messaged from him a week ago saying, this is ridiculous.
That's a good review.
Yeah. I do not smell, not even a tiny bit. And then the following week, I'm not even sweating. Which is giving me like a
date. Lovely. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really good. I think they sell it in Superdrug online. I don't know about it in real life, but it's like a female-owned small brand. I think it's amazing.
Oh, good.
The only thing is it's glass, so you can't really chuck it in your bag.
Yeah.
It could smash.
But can you get a refill for it? Like, wow, that's interesting.
No. Okay. But yeah, of course, Fussy you can.
Yeah, I get Fussy great. Very impressed with that. And also, so, like, glides on so smooth and lovely.
Yeah.
Smells divine as well.
If you'd like to sponsor the next episode,
we are always looking.
We are willing to do some smell tests on your pass and
Imagine.
Yeah.
No, but I think that is a really good example of something that has caught on, and it gives me hope as well that other things will follow. You know, it might be that a mascara does. It might be
cleaning products. People care more about that
now.
more.
And I think again we are seeing more options and more choices come to market, and they're also in supermarkets and they are in cosmetic stores, and you know that's perhaps what we need to see. And I think it is just this domino effect, isn't it? But what do you think? Is there like one product, for example, mascaras or lipsticks? I saw that you did a post the other day about lipsticks actually, and how much nonsense they have in them. Is there a specific product that you're like, oh, if you can just know this about this?
My big message I feel like I go on about all the time is plastic in lipstick.
Which is mental.
Yeah.
And it's 2025. Like,
and just putting it on every day. Little layer of plastic, clinking on for our lips.
And we're literally biting it off.
Yeah.
And it's going directly into our bodies.
Okay, so
that would be the first thing I would switch out.
And are there any options which are plastic free?
Yeah. So I advertise quite a lot. So my favourite brands are Perez. They're nice, Australian.
Okay.
They're light. It's not that heavy to do the air miles.
And again, in terms of actual emissions at the end, you probably still a better way of doing it.
Yeah, and they actually are completely plastic free. It's a pencil. So a lot of the plastic free lipsticks end up being like a very chunky pencil.
Okay.
Also more eco-friendly because
like
it's
Crayola.
It's like a highlighter.
Yeah. And then their lid, I think might be aluminium, so that's a completely plastic free.
And can I ask, lip liners, like general on the market, are they also containing plastic?
Yeah, because anything it's long wear. So, you know, the brands are doing the consumers a favour by having a product that's going to stay a long time, but it generally has film formers in.
Okay.
So there's plastic. Some more high-end ones have silicone based in them, which are not quite so bad. I think they don't break down the same way as plastic, but they're still long wear.
Right.
But it's not great for the planet, so it's kind of good if we can avoid it. But at the same time, the way I would do it really is if it's something you're going to wear every day, I would avoid plastic in lipstick or silicone. But if it's something, maybe a red lip that you might wear every 4 months, I would try and get the silicone based one.
Yeah, okay.
That's a good hierarchy to think about.
Yeah. And less pressure, right? It's not like you're giving up everything.
And, you know, what we always say with these sorts of things is don't now go to your makeup drawer and throw everything out, unless you are obviously a bit freaked out by that for whatever reason. Do not panic, we will all be fine, I think.
Yeah. Like a few little microplastics here and there.
Yeah, I mean, they're just everywhere, aren't they? Yeah. But it's more a case of, you know, if and when you run out, if you are perhaps looking for an alternative, if you do want to add a bright pink for autumn, because who doesn't, that's when, you know, it's when you are ready to make the switch, that's when you can start looking at these different brands and these newer products.
Exactly.
Not a case of like, you know, and a lot of people talk about the cost. You mentioned that sometimes these products do come at a higher price point. What's your, how do you feel about that situation?
Yeah, I think it's really important for it not to be a privileged thing, to be able to buy clean beauty. I think there's a lot of really good skincare brands that are affordable now.
Who would you recommend?
Dr. Organic, they're really good. Face Theory, is it something facialist?
Do you think there's also, though, a bit like with fashion, you know, often you do, it just has to cost more for it to be ethical, because it's not, you know, a product isn't necessarily cheap because it's cheap. It's cheap because somewhere down the line somebody is paying the price of that, whether it be unfair trade, like unfair pay and labour costs and child labour and
the pure volume at which those products are made. So it kind of needs the volume of more sustainable, ethical ones to increase in order to find those efficiencies and the unit economics.
I think that's happening. Because I did super facialists, that's it. They're really affordable. Botanics and Boots. So I think that the demand in the ingredients are going up. And therefore the product prices are coming down. And I think you can. I mean, it's not like you're not going to get something for £2, but you can for £6. So it's not a crazy amount, and it's definitely bringing the price down. The more we buy it, the more the price is going to reduce. So that's really good.
And what about packaging? Because that is something that I think I can feel a bit overwhelmed with sometimes. Is you know, just everything is in a little plastic pot. It feels, doesn't it?
Or like when you get a like eyebrow pencil, and that little tiny pencil is wrapped in plastic. You're like, why? It doesn't even need it. It's so unnecessary.
I think it's getting better. The main thing really is, you know, like pumps, because it's mixed mediums. They're really hard to recycle. But a lot of bottles you can recycle, the main bottle, but you've got to make sure you clean it out. Because people don't do that. And then it will literally go straight into landfill.
You got your wrist slapped by Ruth at Lush, didn't you? Because they offer a take back refill scheme. And it was basically like, take it into the store, I think you get money, don't you? Or vouchers or coupons or something. Gosh, coupon. So American.
Coupon.
And so she was like, but I think it was that for a month they were doing double the amount of pumps.
I have no idea where this is going, but I'm so intrigued.
It just goes to show I listen back to our episodes more than you do. But so Ruth was like so enthusiastic talking about, you know, bring your stuff back to Lush, bring back your empty containers, and you won't just get one, you'll get £2 for every container you bring back. And you were like, okay, so you bring them back, and do you bring them back dirty or clean? And she was like, clean, obviously. And you're like, of course, no, absolutely.
But the key point about that was, though, because I'm going to carry it off.
Fine.
Anyway,
we've been to the factory. I know you're going to say.
In the factory, there was this amazing man, and this just sort of goes to show that Lush are there to really practice what they preach and walk the walk. And they had this gorgeous man who was listening to like heavy metal. It was quite like a bit of like an oxymoron. It felt like. Anyway, his job was to scoop out all the goop. So that all of the things can be, but obviously,
he loved it. I know that's true. Scoop the goop man did exist.
Scoop the goop, but ideally clean at home. That's the message.
They have someone like that though. Like they obviously do. They obviously really do care.
Lush's process is admirable, and they will show anybody around their factory in Poole, won't they? Which is so interesting.
And then they also have like an incredible little outlet store, so that they're not throwing anything away, which I think is great for like small kids with pocket money to spend. But a lot of what they were saying as well is around reducing the different types of materials, so that when it comes to that recycling process, it's simpler.
And have you been to Tropics head office?
No.
They're in Croydon. Unless they've moved, but I'm pretty sure it's Croydon. I went there a few years ago. So an approach they have, as well as Evolve, is rather than lots of different shapes and size bottles, it's just the same, just different printing on.
Makes perfect sense.
And it also, when you kind of distill these things down, it's just, these things are just an inefficient way to run a business. So like, irrespective of how you feel about the environment, like make your processes more simple. And we, you know, we've been doing some work with Nissan recently separately on my other job. And they're looking at, why do we have like a billion different types of headrests? Because actually that introduces loads of cost, but actually all the headrests are basically doing the same thing. Why don't we just have a couple of really good ones? And it's like, that's just good business sense.
save them costs. So they're thinking about themselves too, but in the bigger picture, it's actually really eco-friendly.
Well, this is what Laura Tobin, one of our first guests, said. There is nothing that you can do that benefits the environment that doesn't in turn benefit you. And I think you kind of touched on that with regards to, you know, if you're looking at brands and products that are more ethical and more sustainable, they will be more natural and better for you and your body as well. And, you know, perhaps, like you say, if then they're not having to do the plastic, to put the lipstick in, might they be a little bit more affordable in some instances? Because what I found really fascinating from some of the stuff that you kind of call out on social media is that some of the brands that you've mentioned are like super high-end luxury brands that are just putting something in a nice shiny box.
Yeah, exactly. And they're often made in the same factories as a cheap product. Like almost the same formulas, but just nice packaging. But it's interesting because me and Henry were in Oxford a few days ago walking through Boots, and I never walk through shops like that anymore. Yeah. And it does create this like you're a kid in a toy shop feeling. Like, it's so shiny.
It's so shiny.
Beautiful packaging. Like it's really tapping into our emotions, isn't it? So they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like Era Perez, they've got they're doing really well with their powders. They now have it in an aluminium pot. Aluminium's cool. It's like it's metallic, and I feel like there's definitely more brands could do with packaging that's cool and sustainable, and there's just definitely more innovation they could be doing there.
And also, if you're taking your makeup bag on the go, which so many people are, like having those slightly more robust products, which again, there are refill options as well, then I don't know, it's just going to last longer and like deal with the wear and tear of general busyness in life as well.
How do you deal with being in an industry that is so, I would say like 99% is still pretty intense and pretty not forward thinking when it comes to the environment, and then you're just here as the kind of 1%? Does it feel quite a lonely place to be sometimes, or have you got a good community of other people that do what you do?
That's a really nice question. And as like this afternoon when I arrived, we all spoke a bit about it can be a bit lonely, right? I feel like as a makeup artist, you are solo. Like I turn up on a job, it's just me. But in terms of like the online community of content creation, I just feel really lonely. Yeah. And I think I understand people have to accept work. They need to pay their bills, and it is very painful the amount of brands I turn down to work with, honestly. So yeah, it does feel quite lonely.
It's a funny old world, because also you need to, as a content creator, as we were saying, like project joy into the world, and sometimes you don't feel like joyful. Sometimes you're like, this is annoying and I feel really enraged about this particular subject. But also and I don't want to compare what we're talking to with Martin Luther King, but apparently I'm about to do it.
Who's going?
I'm there. The analogy is somehow tracking. But I went to saw a speech the other day, and it was like, it wasn't I have a nightmare, it was I have a dream, and like that hope and optimism.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, it's so important.
Tingles and goosebumps.
Oh. We were all saying today that we're like not that far off. Well, none of us are that far from having a little cry.
Oh yeah, exactly.
What's going on today?
It's now the moment.
Yeah, I said I had the song that I walked down the aisle to in the car, and it made me a bit emotional. For some reason, also I was thinking about that quote at the beginning of, is it the beginning of Love Actually, where they're hugging at the airport. Have you seen Love Actually? The film?
Have I seen Love
Actually?
Yeah, I know.
And he said something like, times. As far as I'm concerned, when the planes hit the Twin Towers, none of those phone calls were calls of hate, they were calls of love. We're all a bit on the edge today. And I feel like that's why it's so nice to come together and have these conversations, and hopefully anybody listening or watching, this kind of resonates in some way. But I'm curious to know what spurs you on then, or how do you pick yourself back up? Was that a very northern phrase? I never know. Spurs you on? No.
Spurs you on.
Great, good to know.
I like the way you said it, spurs you on.
Yeah.
What spurs you on anyway?
With your pack up in your car.
Don't take the mick out of me.
I love it.
I've had a Yorkshire tea. I'm basically
exactly. Yeah.
Because
that's how it works. If you all drink Yorkshire tea, do we get more northern?
A bit more northern, yeah. Give it a whirl.
Yeah. I think just really believing in it. Like I went for a hike with my brother the other day, and he doesn't give compliments very often, but he did say, I admire you. So I really admire you for the fact that you've got strong ethics and you've stuck to them all this time when you could easily just
Yeah.
make a lot more money.
Yeah.
And like, you know, and I was like, that actually means so much because I never actually realised it. But yeah. A lot of people would have fallen and gone, oh, I'll accept that brand deal or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
And that's, I just really, I can't imagine myself going back on my word. I feel like it's like a promise to yourself and to my daughter Berry and to the future generations that we need to leave the world a better place than when we found it.
But I think that is so admirable, and also it would discredit you and then your future opportunities. And I think people follow you online because they trust you so much, and that trust is really hard to gain,
but very easy to break.
Very easy to break. Yeah. So I think this is why it's so nice to be able to have these conversations and shine a bit of a spotlight on, you know. And we were saying, like, the people that we meet in this space, they all are coming at it from a place of actual care and passion, and that's the reason to get out of bed in the morning, isn't it?
Yeah.
We also need to acknowledge the fact that your daughter was called Berry, because that is the cutest name in the world.
I'm also going to disclose at this point that because I've done a bit of work in the past with the Bosch Boys, and so I have seen a picture of Berry, and she is just like the most gorgeous child in the whole
She looks like a berry, doesn't she?
Yes.
How old is she?
Cry. She's going to be 3.
Oh.
Yeah. So she's called Berry Fox Firth. So BFF.
Oh, she's your little BFF. One thing I would like to know is, do you have any like hints, tips, tricks? I see you do some taping, face taping.
Oh, yes.
We need to talk about this. Yeah.
As in the forehead taping.
Forehead taping.
I tape forehead, nose and mouth at night.
And your hair, everything is just so like, I woke up like this. You are that meme where...
Well, do you know, I think that it comes down to a mental health thing. So kind of the thing I like most about my job is making people feel good about themselves, right? Yeah. So that's why I'm like, recently I'm like, I should just be putting out content, little hacks that make me feel good. Easy.
Yes.
Like, let's be honest, no one has time to do
a 2-hour makeup.
No one cares. No. So I just have been putting out some like little hacks of things I do. And honestly, the overnight curls thing, have you tried it?
Never.
Is this where you do like wrap your hair in a thing?
I've never tried it.
But a lot of them online are like really extravagant, so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I've done all of them and I just can't sleep. And sleep is the best thing for your beauty anyway and for everything else. But like, if you've wake up with amazing hair but you look knackered, what's the point, right? So the one I do is like, you just put a headband over your head like a crown, and then you just thread a bit of hair over, under. So it doesn't really feel uncomfortable because it's just your hair, like, as in it's like rolled at the back. And you wake up and it's not like you've made a big effort. It doesn't make me feel vain. Yeah. I'm not like, I've spent ages in the morning, I've just gone brush, and then you've got a bit more of a spring in your step because you just feel better.
Yeah.
And the taping.
Yes.
Talk to us about face taping.
And in particular, I'd like to know why this might be a beneficial thing versus Botox.
Okay. Botox is a funny one because, well, it's not cruelty-free.
Okay.
It's technically tested on animals. It is a toxin, so you're injecting a toxin into your face. Lots of people I know have it and love it. A lot of people try and live a low toxic life but still have Botox. You've just got to make up your own mind of what's good for you.
Yeah.
But so I wouldn't say it doesn't compare to Botox because it's not like a long-term thing. But if you wear, this goes back to like Hollywood in the like 1920s, I think.
Really?
Yeah. So what it does is it flats it. You're meant to massage your head first, give your head a little massage to kind of smooth out any little wrinkles, and then there's various different types of face tape, but the idea is it's completely across your forehead. So it just holds your forehead still and you're not raising your eyebrows. You're not like moving around. So it just holds you completely still. And if you do that every night, it basically blocks out a lot of time where you would be raising your eyebrows. And it's great. Like, it really does smooth your head.
I mean, your skin is absolutely
so it's just saying, like,
I'm not done it for a week, but...
Well, it's, I mean, not even the face taping, just your complexion, your glow, like, it's just gorgeous.
One big hack that I think as well is electrolytes. People just completely overlook electrolytes.
Okay.
So tell us, why do we need electrolytes?
You're hanging on your every word. But like, this is why we have to be here.
Just send you an affiliate link.
This
isn't an ad.
Link it.
I don't even, like, I have some electrolytes that I use, but there's not like a particular brand that I think is amazing. So this is not like a plug for a brand.
Yeah.
So 20 years being a makeup artist, I obviously see a lot of people, they arrive to me all ages. I actually really like working with older ladies too. That's my favourite. And so I kind of see, I like to ask them about their lifestyles. I ask them about their diets and stuff. I just like to figure out why they look how they look.
Yes.
I believe that most people that feel like their skin looks dry and like old, basically, and wrinkly around their eyes are just dehydrated. And it's such a big difference. If you do it, if you have electrolytes at night and then in the morning, do it for a week, your skin will look completely different.
Can we test this? Imogen doesn't drink anything other than coffee and wine.
Oh no, honestly, so this weekend I got given an aluminium water bottle and it was like this diddy little size, and I was like, this is perfect for me because that's about as much water I can consume a day.
Tommy Tippy then.
Literally,
Is that your water bottle that you brought?
How big compared to that?
it is approximately a quarter of that size.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I'm so bad at
Imogen.
Yeah. Honestly, and the thing is, and I have a theory about this. Number one, when we were growing up, we had really small cups in the house. So I feel like we just didn't drink that much water growing up.
Water.
No pint glasses.
No pint glasses.
Okay, so just quick electrolytes though.
Yeah.
A lot of them come in individual sachets, which then feels like mental plastic again.
The ones I use are one's in a squeezy bottle, so it's like liquid.
Oh, okay, so not
in.
powder situation. So,
Yeah,
okay.
there's ones you can get that's
That are powder that you add to water.
yeah, but yeah, it's better to have them in a glass bottle, isn't it?
Yeah, okay.
Definitely, there's a gap in the market for a really sustainable packaged electrolyte powder. Yeah.
So in an evening, in the morning, do it for. Should we test it?
I need to test it because
we're on the Brinkling's Instagram. We will do a before and after of Imogen and I's face. Yeah.
right, let's do it.
Your skin both looks amazing.
No, but so I was going to ask you then. So you say you'd like to know what people eat and drink and stuff. Looking at our skin, what do you think? Please be honest. Please be honest. What do you think our kind of diet is like? What are we doing right and wrong? Basically just one.
I think you both have got amazing skin. Yes. So I think that you've got good diets. I bet. Yeah, no, there's a lot of pressure. I think you look really healthy, both of you.
I've not had much sleep recently,
No.
so I'm going to say that I'm like I've been low level stressed.
You look like you have at all.
I'm so intrigued to try the electrolyte.
I know that I need to drink more water, so this has been a good little kick up the bum that I need.
Yeah. But also water often doesn't have the minerals that we need. So I think even if you do drink loads of water, it doesn't compare to if you pop some
Little electrolytes in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously you can drink collagen as well. Collagen takes a bit longer to show in your skin, I think. But electrolytes, it's like you will be able to tell within 24 hours.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So what else is in your makeup bag that you'd be like, these are my absolute sort of go-tos?
So a British brand that I love called English Mineral Makeup. Do you know them?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I've come across these before.
So they're a mineral powder. So a lot of mineral foundations have talc in and just quite a lot of bulking agents. And this one is like pure minerals. It's just beautiful on the skin. So if you put like a nice balm on first and then buff it into the skin, it's light reflectant. So it just gives you this really nice dewy glow. And I worked with, I don't know if I'm allowed to say her name. She's 81, famous presenter, in the Cotswolds a few days ago.
I think we can maybe guess who that might be.
Yeah.
Is it
we
Mary
can beep
Berry?
it out.
Who? Mary Berry.
Oh, no. Anne Robinson.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, I would have guessed.
Link goodbye. Oh, she looks amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Am I thinking the right person? Anne Robinson.
Anne Robinson.
Yeah. Sorry,
Who did look terrifying,
Yeah.
but she's actually really nice.
Is she? Wow, okay. And her skin was...
I said, what kind of coverage do you like? What do you like your skin to look like? And she was like, what are you wearing? Tell me what you're wearing. I want that. I was like, I'm really glad you said that because I wanted to use it on her. And she just looked amazing. And she said, she obviously loved her skin. But I thought that was really interesting because I'm 38, she's 81. And it worked on both of us.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing, isn't it? We talk a lot about, clothing, and as our bodies change, things don't work quite as well. Do you find that it's the same in the makeup industry as well as our skin changes and ages, that we do need to potentially start considering different products? Or are you finding that there are some, and actually maybe that's a bit more of a kind of marketing ploy?
I don't know about you two, but I prefer less as I get older.
Definitely.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just a trend or it's we're getting older.
Is it that I think when you're younger, you not that you care more, but I do think there is emphasis on trying to kind of glam up a bit more. But also then as you age, just time is of the essence. I hate feeling like things on my skin. I just don't like
time poor, and also maybe there's like something that's quite nice about being like, I just look like this.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, like, people are into hacks more, like there's sort of fake tanning and things that you don't have to wear as much makeup for.
Is there a good fake tan that you'd recommend? I'm not a fake tanner, but go on.
Oh, is this all natural?
This is all natural.
You're so naturally dark.
It's
just
actually
been away
wearing
there, haven't you?
full sock to full neck. You can see none of my skin and
Well,
body.
I just realised like my arms look really pale compared to my face, because at night I just do a face tan and forget about my arms.
Yeah.
Can you Photoshop like dark arms?
We
in?
can work some
Or give me some weird like, monster arms instead. Lucy B, another British brand, skincare brand. So yeah, it's really, really natural.
Great.
I think it's organic, but it's really natural brand.
And it's a good tan.
Yeah, really good, really sustainable.
Great.
Not orangey.
I know that you won't want to necessarily throw any particular brands under a bus, so maybe we should phrase this as brands that could be doing a little bit better. Are there any that you'd be like, come on, up your game, we know you can afford it?
Yeah. I don't know if I can really say that, because I'm thinking more of cruelty-free brands. Sorry, non-cruelty-free brands. But I don't really know what they're doing sustainability-wise.
Okay.
I think honestly, I think most brands are doing better now.
But I think this comes down to a lot of what the conversations we have more generally are, which is, as a consumer, where you put your money and the choices that you make in terms of the products that you use and things that you buy are so important, because, you know, even if one or two people change from the brands that they were using to some of the brands that you've mentioned today, and they perhaps see a 10% uptake, and then that allows them to put that money back into marketing or maybe get listed in a main retailer. It's this like green economics that just has this amazing snowball effect, doesn't it? And Deborah Meaden, as we heard from in the Green Wimbledon panel, that
it should be called Wimbledon. That would be great.
Her big thing was that exactly that. Obviously, she is a businesswoman first and foremost, but a nature lover as well.
Yeah.
And that was her main takeaway, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, that you've got to spend your money wisely. And that's
really good. That's her message.
Yeah, it is. Do you have a main takeaway, or maybe one thing that if you had a magic wand that you could wave that would change about the cosmetics industry?
Go and support smaller brands, indie brands that are really care.
We are probably coming to the end of this.
Yeah.
So fascinating chat. It's been, I mean, I can't wait to drink so many electrolytes.
Oh my gosh.
Look,
You need to send me before and after pictures.
Oh, they'll be on the Instagram.
But also, we need to make sure that we don't do the thing that often happens where you show like one picture where you're in a really grey light and the other one where the light's
That's
grey.
true, yeah.
We need to be consistent in our experiment.
One can't be with a hangover and the other one not. I don't know. You guys look amazing. I don't think you can upgrade much, but
watch this space, MJ. Right, can you see us post electrolytes?
You should get the pod sponsored by Electrolyte brand to follow your journey.
This is actually just our huge ploy in this whole episode.
Yeah, it's been a good 8-month experiment so far. But no, we like to end the podcast with the same question for all the guests, which has changed throughout the course of the podcast. But for the time being, for series 3, it is, what is the last thing that you did with the environment in mind?
Oh, that's a great question.
It's always surprisingly simple as well, as in what you did, not the question.
I very small, but I bought loose tea because a lot of
tea bags
are plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
That's a whole investigation for another day, and we must do that in the north.
Yes, we must. We
must.
Maybe
I think some of them are getting better. I think tea pigs are plastic free.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, they're like lined with plastic, which also is gross for us to drink.
Yeah.
Yes, and also then begs the question of what bin do the tea bags go in? Because is it food waste, or is it recycling, or do we need to split the tea out of the bag, and that's just way too much admin?
I knew.
Yeah. This is my
spill the tea.
Yeah.
We need more people. Yes.
This is my passion.
We need more people to care about which bin the tea bag should go into in the world.
Yeah, I know. And on that note, you've listened to the Green Queens podcast.
Thank you so much, MJ. This has been like tonic for the soul.
Yeah,
amazing. I've loved it.
And we love what you do. We've loved it for such a long time, and we just wish that there were more people like you in as well.
Right back at you.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Green Queens.
If you did and you'd like to hear more, we'd be so very grateful if you could like,
Subscribe and join the Green group chat for weekly episodes.